Hi all. So in this video, we're going to look at the third of our short questions relating to perspective. And in this question here, we can see that what we're given is the drawing on the right showing a partly completed perspective projection of a tennis court. So there's our tennis court like that. So that's the plan view of our tennis court. You can see, like in our previous examples, we have our picture plane here, we have our ground line here, and our horizon line shown here like that. Again, just pulled back here like that, just to save on space on your page, because when they set up these kind of worksheets, they're really kind of tight for space. So that's the reason why they pull the actual ground line through the spectator here like that, instead of projecting it up past the object. And we're told that we want to, the position of one of the vanishing points, VP2, is shown. So that's VP2 there like that. So there's our spectator. We went parallel to the edge there, parallel to our edge there. That's VP2. We're told we want to locate the other vanishing point. That's not really any kind of major issue to us. We know that we could go parallel to our edge there from our spectator, and that will give us the position of our vanishing point. We're told that we want to complete the perspective projection of the tennis court and the net, and we want to determine the true height of the net. So really we're just been asked to kind of work backwards here. Given that we have a lot of the perspective worked out, we want to work out, say, some of um, the whatchamacallit, the kind of the other information. So let's just have a look at the setup. So there is our setup as we were given it in the question. There's a spectator, just kind of highlighted there just because you can get lost in the lines. And we're just going to basically um, begin by doing the first thing that they asked us for, which was getting the vanishing point for our lines moving in this direction. So from our spectator parallel, we just continue him back down, and there he is on our horizon line there like so. So remember, this is the ground line, this is the horizon line, and to draw in our kind of lines moving in this, so the actual length of the actual court, we go from our edge that we have going back to VP1. The position for the back of the court is there, so we bring it down, and there's the back of our court like so, which we can then take across going from left to right. And again, from our front edge here, we can go to our going back to our VP1. So there is the basic square of our tennis court. We can draw in our divisions then. So like you can see, it's broken up into a number of sections by just bringing our points down to our spectator, who across the picture plane, bringing it down and locating it on our edge. And then to go across left to right, we go back to VP2 here. And we can do the same then for the far side of the court. So there he is like so. And we can just find the center of our piece here. Again, find there's a center point, down to our spectator, we're across there, bring it down, and that gives us our point, which we can take back to VP1, going from front to back. So that's each of our kind of markings on our tennis court, and that's really kind of, completing the projection of the tennis court and the net. So that's the, all the main parts. Nothing really major, nothing different there. Any other points there? You could, if you wanted to find the center point here, by crossing your diagonals, well, that'll actually find you the center point there and square him out. But it's perfectly okay to go from our point there down. The last thing we're asked in is to determine the true height of the net. So now we don't have any front elevation to work off of. We have the net already drawn in. So how do we work from our perspective here and work out what the original true height of this guy is? Well, it's actually quite straightforward. What we're going to do is we're going to just take our net like that. So there's our net, you can see going across, going to our vanishing point like that. And if we were to extend that on, so there's our ground line extended onto our ground line here, draw it same at the top, and if we were to bring him straight up vertical, well, that must be our height there. Essentially what we would be having done there would be essentially taking our net. If we extended him onto the picture plane, well, we would have a measuring post there. That is our measuring post here. So that's exactly what we're doing. We're just basically extending that on there and there to give us our, our line along the ground, our top of our net, and that must be our true height because that's our measuring post on the picture plane. So again, just using our kind of techniques there, but just rephrasing them in kind of maybe a little bit of a different way, so that you can really have to have a good understanding of what's going on with it. It's not a lot of work, but it does require you to have that little understanding. So it's not just the same question asked over and over and over again. Yeah, but that's our third example of our short question. Those three examples that we're after doing there are so far are the only three short questions for our perspective. We were after already doing all the long questions, so we're actually after completing all the different samples that have appeared on the Leaving Cert. So we'll do one more example of maybe an older style, kind of higher level Leaving Cert question, and that's from, let's say, the technical drawing paper, just to kind of give you kind of a, throw the kitchen sink at it. And then that's pretty much it for our perspective as a topic goes. So, I mean, that's all our principles covered, and hopefully you'll be kind of familiar with how it appears in the exam and how you need to, I suppose, apply the principles to the different exam questions. So, as always, I hope this is a help.